Hey, Joe, if you want to be there, if you just want to grab that microphone and sit there, you don't have to stand up there. Two. And I just have your microphone muted, and I wasn't sure if Joel asked if he needed to be here. I told Steve, not really. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh. Okay. Okay. I thought there was something else that you needed. I'm glad you're on top of it, because I forgot. Yeah, that's what he was just saying. Okay, you're live.
Okay, let's call this special meeting of the Henry County Commissioners to order. First order of business will be the opening of bids.
I didn't bring a letter opener. There's only two, you can do it.
First sealed bid is from E&B Paving. Itemized proposal.
You're looking at that one.
It's not very sharp. Last page. I was going to say it says total 168,063 for paving for binder, millings, and shoulder stone road prep work.
Is it this? This page. If you go to like two of.
Well, this is for all the different
There you
county
go.
roads.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they're all separated.
Right there.
So there's total $1,414,675.82 from E&B Paving. Did you get that? 1,414,675.82. Yep. And then
This
the
is
other one
Milestone.
is from Milestone for $1,229,952 even. Yep, 1,229,952 even.
That's a big difference. So. So I will make the motion to accept these on advisement for Joe to review and come back to the next meeting with a recommendation.
I second the motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next order of business.
You want to do his interlocal?
We can do the interlocal from Randolph County for using their asphalt distributor. They approved it at their Monday's meeting. If we go ahead and approve this,
And Joel Harvey has reviewed this, and
Yeah.
everything is good to go.
so basically it's just use of theirs that we will provide insurance and
Any
maintenance
repairs
on it.
if we miss them. I will
So-
make the motion to approve the interlocal agreement with Randolph County to use their, is it the distributor?
Yes.
Distributor.
I second the motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. And we'll need to sign, I'd say we sign this one, because this one, which is,
want me to talk about the Smith's detection?
Yeah,
Okay, so the other day, well, about a week ago, we had the conveyor belt on the X-ray unit at the Justice Center started tearing and fraying. And yeah, Debbie will.
chopped it,
Yep.
yeah.
And so we had gotten a quote to get that repaired. In the time frame from getting it scheduled for today to be repaired, the actual computer system crashed in it as well. So we were talking back and forth with Smith's Detection, and this is a quote for a certified pre-owned unit. It's newer. I did talk to Katie at Smith's Detection. The certified pre-owns are gone over from top to bottom, repaired, parts replaced, and these pre-owned are typically 5 to 7 years old, is what she told me. When I first talked to the tech, he said it was probably 7 to 10, but he wasn't 100% sure. But she said 5 to 7. We will not need the roller tables, so those I have crossed out. We're not doing any of the options for the service coverage, and we can have this in 2 business days installed. If we were to have just replaced the computer and the conveyor belt on a machine that's original to the building, I believe they said that this was the oldest machine in the state of Indiana at 23 years old. It would have cost $5,000 just to do that. With this cost, I didn't total it up, but it looks like it's $16,100 because we took out the 2 roller tables that were optional. But as soon as we approve this, we can have that replaced in 2 business days. So currently, right now, what they're doing is not allowing any backpacks, purses, bags into the building since they don't have this working right now.
And they actually have the unit.
Yes, we'll have it. We will have it here in 2 business days and installed. So it looks like the total is $16,100.
And with this, of course, you answered part of my pertinent questions, because if they're certified pre-owned and they're ex-government
Yep.
by bigger government, my concern was the fact that they probably get used a heck of a lot more than
But
ours
yeah,
does.
but they have gone through, replaced and repaired,
I just wanted to make sure.
overhauled. That's the word I'm looking for. They've overhauled the units, yes.
Because that's what I was wanting to make sure what certified actually meant, what
Yeah.
had they done to these, because
Yep.
they may be in worse shape than what we
Yeah,
got because
no.
of use alone.
Yeah, they have been overhauled.
Well, do I have a motion?
So moved.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded to replace the X-ray machine in the Justice Center for roughly $16,100.
If I can get you guys to sign that one, and I can get it to them today.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. And next order of business, interlocal agreement for Newcastle.
Do you want to talk on it at all, Mandy? Or just, do you want to talk about this at all? Oh, she can't hear. She's having some issues.
She's having issues. That's, I'm not.
So we have an MOU between us and the city that I need to get signed. They were down a truck. Well, they're down more than one truck. As soon as they seem to get one back in service, they seem to lose another one. And they were in desperate need of a truck, so we loaned them one of the Southwest trucks. And we need to get an MOU signed in place that they're responsible for it, why they have it, and they give it back when they're done. I did have a question. I know Joel's not here. Do we know if, is this good for, say, we get that truck back and they lose another one?
Oh, yeah, this is
Just
a
go ahead and loan
yes.
them one? Okay.
Yes,
All
if this is approved, this will be in place until it is rescinded.
Okay, all right. So right now, it's just the one that they're borrowing. They know they can borrow any of our trucks if they need it. Right now, in particular, it's a Southwest truck, but if they need backup, they need it. So they got to get to these calls. So I have that.
And I did take out where it said that it was decal to Southwest, because you said that you've taken
Yeah,
those.
so they did us a favor of, they got some decal guys down there, and they went ahead and removed the majority of those decals. So I asked them if they wanted to come switch out and get the other one. They just finished taking the decals off that one for us, too. So,
And
but,
this has all been approved and certified at the state? The state
yes, so
is-
Don Watson's been informed. He got special permission to put that truck in service. It's in a temporary number. He just basically uses for one of his trucks that's out. This takes the place of that and that cert number, and he's responsible for it until they give it back. So, and that's the way it'll remain until we actually, if we were to give him one that was certified under our number, then Don would need to bump it up to ALS for the city to use it. But in this, it was kind of worked out nicely because this truck was not in service for us at the time, so.
Right.
So he could put it for anything. So it's all above board, state knows, and they're
And then
taking good care of it.
this will have to go to the city council
Yes.
to be.
And Brian realizes that. Once it's signed here, he needs to take it on to the Board of Works and get it signed on that side.
Okay, any questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion
Second?
and a second to approve the interlocal agreement between Newcastle EMS and Henry County EMS for the loan of an ambulance. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0.
Do you want me to do the contracts now, or?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about those, yes.
Okay, so as you guys know, we've been working pretty diligently trying to get contracts in place with all these nursing homes because there was nothing in place that was enforceable for ambulance billing. When I first took over, we discharged a ton of debt, especially for like Glen Oaks. I mean, and when I say a ton, I mean like $850,000 because they didn't pay and there was nothing in a contract that enforced ambulance billing to be able to collect from them. So they would just make payments. So I did some research, got some, I think some pretty good wording. Joel changed a couple of things that benefited us. And I have 3 of the 5 signed from the other 2, which is American Senior Communities, which I'm on pretty, because one of those is Stonebrook, and we service them more than any SNF in the county. So, but because I had to add an actual fee schedule to that for them, it has delayed that. Hopefully by next commissioners meeting, I have those 2. We'll get those in. But 3 of the 5, by now, I was pretty impressed. So I have the Waters and Heritage House and Glen Oaks all signed and ready to go once they're signed by you guys and approved, which it's the exact same contract that I talked about in the commissioners meeting. It's just signed now. They signed pretty much. It was pretty easy for those. I'm battling back and forth with American Senior Communities, but I'll get it. I'll get it. So, because I don't want to pull service from them, but I will if they don't sign it because they owe us more money than anyone in this county. So, anyways. So I have these 3. If you guys want them, you can.
Yep, I will make a motion to, because I know Joel's reviewed the contracts before, when you were here talking about it, wanting to go forward. So I will make the motion to approve the contracts with the 3, the Waters of Newcastle, Heritage House of Newcastle, and Glen Oaks of Newcastle.
I second the motion.
Motion's been made and second to approve these contracts. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0.
And that's all I got.
Next up, the RFQs. Or do you
Yep.
have something else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay, I'll wait on signing those. Well, Joe, I guess if you want to sign them, I'll sign them last. Okay, we have the 4 RFQs for the renovation of the buildings for the county government. We were given these to score out of 100 points what we thought would be the best fit for the county. So, I don't know who wants to lead off.
Well, there's 4 criteria, evaluation criteria, specialized experience or technical expertise of the organization and its personnel in connection with the scope of services to be provided and complexity of the project, 25 points. Past record of performance on contracts, including quality of work, timeliness, and cost control, 25 points. Capacity on the organization to perform the work within time limits, taking into consideration the current planned workload. of the firm, that's 25 points, and I have a hard time with this word.
Familiarity.
Familiarity of the organization with this type of project or problems applicable to project, 25 points. I will just start, how I obviously I read through all of the proposals, DLZ, Elevatus, I think this is, I never can remember. Illuminat, and then Halstead. I went through they're all very qualified. So I guess I focus mostly on timeline of how long it would take. They're estimated. Obviously, nobody can say 100%, but if they say 28 months, it won't be 30 months, or if they say 20 months, it won't be 24 months, depending upon what they get into. So I scored, because I think everybody, in my belief, reading through and knowing some of these companies, everybody got 25 points on the specialized experience, past record, and familiarity with the organization. And then so I focus mostly on the timeline. And with that, I scored DLZ with 25 points, and everybody else, because they were longer, got 20 points in the way I scored it. So my top was DLZ as I scored it.
Well, at this point, that's where I was at. They actually wound up my top score. They all scored in the 90s. DLZ edged them out by 2 points, but
Yeah, DLZ edged everybody out by 5 points on mine.
Do you want the overall total for each one of them?
I mean, yeah, we could.
I'll say if you want to do it that way, I have Illuminat at 92, Halstead at 94, Elevatus at 95, and DLZ at 97.
And I have DLZ at 100 because I just gave them the full points. I have Elevatus at 95. I have Halstead at 95, and I have Illuminat at 95.
I had DLZ at 97, Halstead at 93, Elevatus at 91, and Illuminat at 90.
So it looks like all of us ranked DLZ top. So go ahead.
No,
I was going to say with that, with based upon this scoring, with that, I will make a motion to award or accept the proposal from DLZ for the work on the courthouse.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second to accept DLZ. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. I believe that's all the business we have to bring forth in this meeting unless someone has something I don't know about.
Nope, motion to adjourn.
Wait a
Oh,
minute.
Glenn.
Well, I got an answer. No.
Could you come up to the microphone, Glenn? Could you come up to the microphone, please? We're live streaming.
Yes, I've just got a question in relation to the selection of DLZ, and my interest is, of course, the interest of the grant, and of course, it's the awarding architectural firm that's going to be completing a certain section, basically being environmental and the initial architectural phase of the grant application itself. And so I was wondering, when would it be the time for me to contact DLZ in relation to that particular portion of the application? But I want to contact DLZ after you all had contacted them to let them know that they have been awarded the contract for architectural services.
This
for the
afternoon,
contract, and then I
sometime
would
today.
contact them after that.
Sometime today. We will contact them.
Also, I can call them after this
Yeah,
meeting's over.
after that phone call's made
Okay.
today.
So I'll let you know as soon as I contact them. I'll let you know that I've called in, and then you can go from there.
Okay, fantastic. You can get me a contact person and a number.
Okay.
And I'll take it over from there.
All right.
So while we're here, before we make a motion to adjourn, so Have you heard anything of this USDA grant being opened up or time frame for this grant to be opened up?
Well, it's open now. It's
Do
continuous.
you know how much money is available?
I don't know right now.
That's not been released yet, or you don't know when they're?
the
Well,
last
because
time
my concern is, and I want to get grant monies, so, but we can't wait 6 months. We can't delay 6 months waiting on, because I know the grant's going to be $600,000 or less. Probably not, we probably wouldn't get the whole 600,000 or whatever. But I guess I need to, in my mind, we need to start working on narrowing down a time frame, because we're already 6 months into after bonding, and, you know, we only have a certain amount of time to, with the bond, to get the project done and expend the money. So my concern is, you know, we can't wait till November to get started on the project.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, as you know, we're well over half of the year, and my guess is that we should be getting word from the USDA fairly soon in terms of an award, to the point that we could go ahead and get started with what we need to get started with in terms
Yeah.
of the project
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, that's just my concern, that we're holding off starting. And again, 300,000 or 600,000 is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, it's good money. But in a $5 to $11 million project, I don't want to delay a project for a small portion. I just want to make sure that it's not going to be December or January of next year before we can start, because we're waiting on this grant source.
Right. Understood. And I'll check back with USDA to kind of get a general
Okay.
time frame for that, to the point that we'd be up to speed in relation to how that's going to weave into the overall time frame of the
Right.
project itself. But by the same token, we have to keep in mind that you know, we're considering other grant sources as well, with the focus on the READY grant application. So that's another question.
I understand, and that's a concern as well. You know, we're meeting next week with Corey for UNIR. Yes. But again, if that's going to be another 9 months before it's awarded, you know, we have to be mindful of the length of these projects.
Yeah, so for right now, we'd have to be mindful in relation to both grant sources, because
Yes,
I think
we
we've got
do.
a pretty good chance of getting
Absolutely.
funded with both of them. And so with that being the case, we would want to work this project in accordance with the time frame for the grant itself.
Well, we have to be mindful of it all. I mean, if it's going to be 9 months before we can get started, this is a large project, and you know, we just have to be mindful, because we have a certain amount of time for that bond to be expended. You know, there is a time limit of expending of the bond money.
Right, but also too, you have to keep in mind that there's a process within
I understand.
how the bond portion of it is going to factor in as well, because there are procedures that they're going to have to go through to make certain that everything is done in accordance with that, and then that's going to take a certain amount of time as well. So right now, we've got at least 3 time frames that we have to be considered in terms of the overall project itself. One
Correct.
being the requirements by the bond, second being the requirements by the other 2 possible grant sources. So we'd have to be up to
And
speed.
unfortunately, the requirements by the bond takes precedent over the requirements of the grants.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But the thing is that we want to make certain that the grants fit into the
Absolutely,
time frame
requirements of the bond.
that as required by the bonds themselves.
Correct. Absolutely. I think that's the point I'm trying to make, is, you know, we can't.
Grants need to fit in with the bonds.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. All
I'll
right.
get you that information as soon as I make the phone call and figure out, make sure who they want you to be in touch with, so. Not a problem. I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned.